Welcome to Behind the Entertainment Scene with Stephanie Thompson. I am your host, and on this show we bring you special guests who have entertaining insights, inspiring stories, and secrets to their success. I have with me my fabulous co-host, Antonio Carnota.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
So nice to have you.
You look fantastic. You are shining like the stars.
Oh, thank you, Antonio. I love having him. He always lifts me up. He's just wonderful.
But it's true.
And I have two fabulous guests that I know very well, Ren and Corinne Tsai. They're the owners of Dreamweaver Star Treks, and I'm going to let them tell you what they do. They have so many hats that they wear, and they're just a kick to have around. The two of them, they play off each other so well. So, Corinne, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, thank you, Miss Stephanie. Hi, everybody. Yes, we're a little crazy, but we have fun. We own Dreamweaver Star Treks, which is a boutique talent development studio. What is that, you ask? Well, I'm a singing teacher, and my amazing husband and partner is an acting teacher. He's also an actor and a songwriter and a playwright and a screenwriter, and he teaches video production. And what doesn't he do? He even cooks people. You know what I'm saying? He does, yeah. And I teach vocal. What do I teach? Oh, vocal technique. I teach vocal technique. But it's late, peeps. I'm tired. And vocal therapy, which means for voices that are injured, sick, or damaged. I can usually help you get back to vocal health.
Absolutely.
Also do vocal arranging and all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
Yes, and you're very good at it. You're a very good teacher. I happen to know
Stephanie.
because she's my teacher.
I love my Stephanie. I love my Stephanie. And she's an amazing singer, as I'm sure you have heard on the program. Boy, I need some caffeine, Steph.
Let me give you a shot of caffeine.
Thank you. I'm fine now. I'm okay.
Zap. And Ren, tell us a little bit about what kind of things you do. So.
Because of what she said, it's true. Mainly what I do is I teach storytellers. And my job is to hopefully, if all goes well, I would love to see a generation of storytellers like I saw in the late 60s when I was a teenager that made a difference in the world. And I would give anything to have people be able to sing, to act, and a lot of people think, well, singers aren't actors. This is untrue. A singer has to do more than an actor ever had to dream. One, they have to know the rhythm, the intervals, but those words, they are a monologue. And their movie changes about every 4 minutes. Those who get that down, as most of our students do,
Yes, they do.
our students are able to go to television for audition, film for audition, write songs if they wish, or be able to go on The Voice and sing phenomenally. It's kind of fun.
It is fun.
Absolutely.
Yes. And we've been blessed. I mean, we have students.
we are lucky.
Sophia Ramos started with us when she was 7, and she's 16 now, and she just got back from the Philippines. She was on The Voice Teen Philippines, and she did great. I'm very, very proud of her. Aaron Pablico just got through filming, and they showed it 2 weeks ago, Chicago PD.
At the same time she finished an album.
Right. And she's going to, we have a student at South by Southwest right now, Jeff Mix, and his lovely wife, Leanne Mix. And we have Connor Weil, who did a whole bunch of work on, for those youngsters out, you know KC Undercover. He just got through doing, I think, 5 or 6 episodes of KC Undercover. It's a biggie. It's a biggie if you're young peeps. So we're really blessed that we have some great students that have been with us a long time that have gotten very successful. We have Fred Odgaard and Kinky Boots on Broadway. Yeah. And let me see, Jen Lee Shallow is the principal singer for the Broadway tour of Dirty Dancing. And we could, student in Shanghai.
Just what can't you?
Well, no, it's not us.
I must attribute this to our incredible gratefulness in life. We were lucky with our first teachers.
Yes, we were.
Our first teacher was I had gone into the military early, got out early in the late 60s. I was kind of hiding out on an island where the world was a little quieter, and I ran into this crazy man who had come from vaudeville, who was considered to be one of the greatest theatrical illusionists in that time, as well as one of the greatest hand mechanics, which is quite amazing. And I met him, and I ended up taking a journey that pretty well changed my life and turned me around.
Explain to us what's a hand mechanic. Some of us don't know what that is.
Hand mechanic, example, you know, if for those who like the world of magic, let's say you take a coin, a big coin, put it in your hand has to kind of hold it in the center right here.
Oh, he's giving away secrets.
Yeah.
Giving away secrets.
Of course I am. I want more
That's-
magicians.
We
more
give secrets
magicians.
to the success.
We need
yes.
more magicians, especially if you can act.
Sorry, Gary Darwin.
But this man was so abnormal because he came up in the time of the 20s and the 30s, and their discipline was insane. He's the only human I ever saw who could move his muscles while keeping his fingers loose. So he could do things that were unbelievable. When I first saw it, I just went, what? But he was also, first time I actually met him was prior to that. He was at a bar with some friends doing a show. At the end of the show,
Yeah.
he seemed a little tipsy. I thought, oh, okay, he'll probably mess up. I was sadly mistaken. And, you know, we'll probably continue this in just a moment.
We're just going to take a quick commercial break. This is so interesting. When we come back,
We have to pay
we're
for
going to
the
hear
show.
some secrets of the trade. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Behind the Entertainment Scene. I'm your host, Stephanie Thompson, with my fabulous co-host, Antonio Carnota.
Thank you, Stephanie. It's a pleasure.
Yes.
It's wonderful to listen to these two excellent artists.
I know. We have Ren and Corinne Zai with us in the studio today. And Ren was just telling us an amazing story, and we were just in the middle of it. And I want to get back to that. So you were watching this man. You thought he was a little tipsy.
He was a little tipsy, and I figured, well, he's probably going to make mistakes. And then they blindfolded him. And I don't mean just with a hood. They put tape over his eyes. They put a hood over his head. And then they took bed sheeting and they wrapped his head. Now, this had my curiosity. I'm going, okay, what are you going to do? He then turned his chair around, and he had 6 volunteers in the audience play chess, and they would call off their moves, and he beat all of them. I went, wait, wait. And I asked my friend, who is this guy, and how can we talk to him? And he said, it's funny you should say that. He wanted to talk to you. I said, why does he want to talk to me? And he was Sicilian, Sebastian Adriani. And he said, he understands that you were an exceptional long-distance marksman. I went, why does he want to know if I can shoot? He said, we'll talk about it later. So we met a few days later, and I began to find out there was almost nothing this man couldn't do. We have, out here on the West Coast, we have what is called the Magic Castle. In Chicago, it was called the Chicago Round Table.
Okay.
The people that were connected to that were people, for those of you who are young, you won't know this, but people like Jackie Gleason, Red Skeleton, Charlie McCarthy, people of this nature.
And they were all magicians.
And that's the thing most people
Believe
don't
it or
know,
not.
including Johnny Carson, who actually was a mentalist. That's why he used to wear the big dome.
I didn't know that.
No, and so many of them, there was a time where magic was like rock and roll in this day and age now. And they were great heroes, and they traveled all over the world, so it was kind of fun. And we got together, and he began to explain to me what it was he did. So we went on the road, and he was a well-educated man. He also made sure that the first show that you worked on was the one that you built, literally. We started with $340, a car that blew out black smoke that we thought any minute would stop running. 18 months later, the largest traveling theatrical illusion show in history moved across this country with 4 people building it, designing it, and then taking it.
But pray tell, why did he want to know if you could shoot a rifle?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Tell us.
Crazy man.
It was
crazy
actually,
man.
they were playing a joke on me. I did not know at the time. And we were over, and there was a little bit of a party, and I stopped drinking in the 80s, but then I drank a lot. Unfortunately, hey, I was 19, I was out, I did whatever I wanted, my body fixed itself. So all of a sudden, we're doing that, and he leans over, I'm kind of tipsy, and he goes, my friend here tells me you are an exceptional shot. I go, and it's not something you want to talk about growing up in the world I grew up in. Yeah. And he goes, and then I realized, wait a minute, in my head, why is a Sicilian asking me if I can shoot? And I looked at my friend Herb, who had brought me into this situation, and I went, oh, I got to get out of here. I got a Sicilian asking me if I can shoot. What the heck is this? So they played me for the whole night. Dawn finally showed up. They gave me a rifle. They put something real far out on the beach, and I was staggering out, and I thought, Herb said, I said, can we go home? He said, as soon as you shoot something. I went, oh, okay. So staggered out, took the rifle. I shot something, and he went,
inanimate.
You did that when you were drunk? I went, well, when I shoot, I'm not drunk. It's hard to explain. And then he asked me the strangest question in the world. He said, do you think you could shoot at somebody and keep them alive?
What?
Exactly what my brain went away.
Say what?
Okay, he's had too much to drink too. This is what I thought anyway. And I go, do you mean if someone was holding you hostage and I could see them a little bit? Could I shoot that small? Yes, but no, I wouldn't want to. And he goes, no, do you think, and then he hit me with the strangest question of my life. Do you think you could shoot at me and keep me alive? Okay, I'm thinking,
So complicated.
just get me home. I want to go home. I want to sober up because none of this is making sense. And then I found out he was the last of the human targets since the 1600s, meaning that he would stop a small caliber bullet in a steel plate in his mouth.
Oh.
And the reason he chose me is because I had ballistic understanding. I understood all of the things about rifles and shooting. I thought, oh, he just wants information. No, he actually wanted me to shoot at him. But in this journey that I thought, well, that's kind of interesting, because I was a little crazy at 19 going, that would be different. So I'm not doing that. And I thought, let's go. And then I began to see the other side of him. The illusions and storytelling and acting. It was phenomenal. To be honest, it saved my life. This was a tough time.
Yeah.
Coming in the late 60s. It gave me a place to let go of everything I'd had in my past. And I got to make people laugh. They were mysterious. They weren't sure what was going on. And then I began to finally learn what a theatrical illusionist was. And then I met her.
Hey, hold your thoughts. We're gonna come back to. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we're gonna hear more of this fascinating story when we come back. Welcome back to Behind the Entertainment Scene. I'm your host, Stephanie Thompson, and I have my fabulous co-host, Antonio Carnota.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you to everyone.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. May I ask a question? Guys, you have many things in common. Art, acting, music. Is in order to have that similar kind of art, kind of music, different kind of music, in order when you are expressing your emotions in your work. Similar, different?
That is an exceptional question, because I had to ask myself that in my 40s when people said, you do a lot of things, so
Right.
what are you? Are you an actor? Are you a magician? And then I went to school and they go, you conduct music? I went, yeah. And I had to ask myself that. I finally realized what I was.
And the answer is?
Storyteller.
Oh.
All of this beautiful stuff that you do with this,
Thank you
that
so
only
much.
humans can do, music.
And you do
This
so
is
very well.
storytelling.
Thank
And
you so much.
You know, like
Stephanie.
film score. What would movies be without music and film
Right.
score?
Right.
Storytelling.
And all that beautiful and amazing talents that you have. if you need to choose one, if you need to go to a weekend alone and do that kind of talent, which you prefer?
Uh-oh.
For me, it is simple.
Oh, yes.
Storytelling, I like to write, and now I'm getting into a new side of my life, which is I've been doing film for about 3 years, and I'm trying to get young performers and actors, because I don't want to just educate them how to act, and she doesn't want to just educate them how to sing.
Right.
You know, it's like train a racehorse and leave it in the barn. Never. Now they must get on stage first so they get comfortable, and then we put them in front of film, because with the modern world of YouTube and stuff, you can either go in with an 8x10 like they used to do in the 30s and the 40s, or you can go in and do an audition and someone goes, oh my God, you have 6 million hits on YouTube? Guess who gets the job?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Sophie actually went, she went to the Philippines.
That's right.
And when she went to the Philippines, she had on her videos, and she was great before she went to the Philippines and did the voice, but she had like maybe
A little 45, right around 4,500.
yeah, and after her first audition, she had 6.4 million views.
That's fantastic.
One TV show.
That's nowadays. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
And so you have to be in front of the camera, and really on YouTube is international.
Right.
So our motto at Dreamweaver Star Tracks is Dreamweavers help the world one story, one storyteller at a time. So we try to just like plant the seed as a storyteller, as an artist. You have a lot of power, 6.4 million views worth of power to be able to be of benefit instead of becoming kind of a selfish person and it being all about you. You take that you're blessed to be able to have this talent and this support and that opportunity. So what are you going to do with it? You're going to go out and help others with it.
Right.
Help yourself. If you're not okay, you can't help anybody, because that means you're not eating or you don't have a place to live. But take that talent and go out and help other people with it.
Suppose that now people are watching and listening, and they would love to sing, they would love to act, but they say, oh, I don't know if I can, but they come to you.
She's going to explain the singing. I'm going to explain something to help make it.
Perfect.
I thought I was going to explain the tap dancing.
Well, by the way, yeah, phenomenal dancer, and we'll explain how I met her.
Back in the day.
And the crazy
Yes,
day.
yeah,
we
we-
want to
we
hear
would-
that
we
story.
would like to
wanna
know
hear
the
that
secret.
story.
Okay. We had gotten off the road.
Oh, no, let's talk about...
No, listen.
No, let's not talk about that yet. So romantic, though. Go ahead.
Okay, I got it.
Talk about me.
What's wrong with... Yeah, see? We have music for romance.
Yes.
I'm in Florida. Now, the funny part, I'd already been on stage. But because I grew up as a military brat, I had gone to 17 schools by the time I was in 10th grade.
17.
The problem is, I had no social skills. You know how people grow up, this is my friends, they know how to talk? Not me. But for some reason, I ended up on stage, and I was fine. I didn't care. 5,000, no problem. Off stage, no social skills, no communication skills. And I remember, because we're in Florida, and I'm kind of a strange person. People like to go out and play and party. I didn't. I always studied. And I thought, well, how does a person become? So I'd either study acting or I'd study psychology. How do people act well?
Philosophy.
And yeah, I know, it's crazy. But that was me. People go party, this is what I did. So all of a sudden I'm reading a book. The door opens up in Florida. I look at the door. She's standing there. The sun is behind her.
Oh.
She has long hair down just right above her knees in the back. She's beyond gorgeous. I look at her and I just go, and she goes, hi. And here I'm holding the book, and here's my great response.
He was so cute.
I hear her walking down the hall, and she goes, what's wrong with him? I'm beautiful. I'm going, oh boy.
I wasn't arrogant either. I was very humble. Very, very humble.
No, she's fearless. I was the one shy.
Hey, I was hot back then, people.
Beyond.
Okay, we have to come back to this story.
That's a part 2.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to hear about the love story of Ren and Corinne when we come back. Welcome back to Behind the Entertainment Scene. I am your host, Stephanie Thompson. I have my fabulous co-host, Antonio Carnota.
It's a pleasure. I'm in love with the story.
Oh, I'm in love with them. Ren and Corinne Zide. They are just adorable, aren't they? Aren't they adorable?
It's amazing, amazing.
Aw.
You were reading the book.
I was
Yeah.
reading the book. She says hi. I turn the page. I look at the book because I can't think of a thing to say to this beautiful woman. And as I said, she's heading down the hall, and I hear her go, "What's wrong with him? I'm beautiful." I'm going, and I'm, in my brain, I'm going, "What is wrong with me?" So we go on the road. I come back a year later. A friend of mine says, "I want you to see this show. This most phenomenal ballet dancers created this show." So I go to see the show, and watching, and this woman is just phenomenal. She's got these long 10-foot claws and making shapes and dancing and leaping. And he goes, "Do you recognize her?" I went, "That's not." He goes, "Yeah, that's her." I went, "Oh, okay, great show." He goes, "She wants to talk to you." And I went, "Why?" And he goes,
It was not easy, people. You know what I mean?
we had, no, it wasn't. But he said, one of the things we had to learn to do on shows is you've got to get people's attention.
Right.
Now, the shows we were on, that was in America back then and in Canada, 250 to 700,000 people moved in front of your show a day. Outside, these things were big. I haven't seen anything like it since.
Huge state fairs.
Great state fairs. And we had our show there, and I thought, well, wow, you know, competition's insane. So I learned to blow the world's largest fireball.
Big.
Because
Volkswagen
it would go
van
100 feet
big.
in the air, and people in the front would go, "What's that?" And they'd go. And so my friend said, "She wants to learn to do fire eating." And I went, "What?
Yeah, I got tired
That
of being
beautiful
hungry.
girl dancing?"
Sometimes you're gigging, sometimes you're not. So I figured
That's true.
the more things I could do, the more money I could make.
And then I found out, of course, she could sing, she could dance, all this. And I went, "Why do you want to learn fire eating?" And she said, "Well, I wanted to learn to do other things." So yes, our passion met over fire eating.
Fire eating.
It's a true story. Come on, how many have had that moment in life?
And we've been best friends since 1972. How many years was that? That's a
Oh
long
my
time.
gosh, 72.
Over 40 years. And we've been married for 28
December
years.
10th, 1989.
29 years this year.
You know how you remember that,
29
gentlemen?
years.
Put it on your ring. I did. No, sorry.
I'm the one that forgets our anniversary, not him, because he
So-
just reads it.
We finally reached a point where our bodies went, "I don't know if I can do this anymore."
Oh my God.
So we thought we should train a new generation of storytellers.
Yep.
And we began to decide to try and do that. And some of you out there that are watching, probably, especially since you're watching Steph, and we're seeing it and hearing music, there's so much that goes on here. You're going, well, how do we do this? And one of the greatest problems I came across, I wasn't going to do it, but once again, she got me in trouble.
Oh, hey.
She came out and said, "I want you to hear my singers." So I came to work that day and I was listening. Phenomenal voices. She goes, "And?" I said, "Do you want to know?" She went, "Yeah. They're about as interesting as watching paint peel."
Oh, man, they put you in a coma.
Voices are phenomenal. I said, they'd be great
Boring.
on radio, but if we're going to see them on stage, they can't just hold a mic and go.
Buy the CD.
So, and she said, "That's my problem." So I went back and took all of my training in performing and acting because I realized, wait a minute, singers? You know, as an actor on stage or in a show, you can have months. On movies, you can do a couple of years. A singer's changing their movie every 4 minutes, and I thought, wow.
Every song.
So I took about 2 years and rewrote a form of acting, and we call it the natural actor. And one of the things that especially singers, they have this stage fright that's unique.
Right.
And for those of you who are at home going, "Oh yeah, that's me, I got that. I'm so nervous about being on stage," let me give you a little technique, and then she's going to give you a cool
Listen
technique
up.
too.
This is going to change your lives.
Now you're going to say, "But I have stage fright," and I'm going to tell you it's not real. You're going to go, "Why isn't it real?" Okay, the day you were born, the moment you were born, were you afraid and fearful and doubtful? No. So you had to learn how to be fearful and doubtful, didn't you? You did not know how to quit. Hey, if you were a teenager and you were just learning to walk, 3 times falling down, embarrassing yourself, go, I quit, carry me. But we didn't know how to quit. Stage fright is a movie in your mind. Let's say I got to do a love part. So you're thinking real quick, okay, I got a love part, but you know, my friends are watching me and I don't want to make a mistake. That's the wrong movie. So the thing you want to do very simply is serve the story that you tell, serve the song that you play. That's what you do. And make sure that story entertains an audience. And that's how you make a living. You want to tell them a little something about beautiful singing?
I think that they need to call me. And I'll give you a lesson for free.
How about
and we'll talk
that?
about your voice. 702-324-6065. You can be in Las Vegas. You can be anywhere in the world. I teach all over the world. Students in Singapore.
With
and
Skype.
Yeah,
all
you
over
teach by Skype.
All over the world. By Skype, FaceTime, all over the world. So call me. Our studio's in Las Vegas at 900 East Karen in the Historical Commercial Center in New Orleans Square. Our grand opening, which maybe we can get Stephanie and Antonio to perform at.
I'm still painting, mostly
It's
me.
It's April 15th. And Miss Amy's coming out.
April 15th.
Okay, all
April
right,
15th.
wonderful.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it was so fabulous having
fun.
you.
And
You are
thank
the
you.
most
Thank you
fabulous
so
of
much,
fabulous.
both of
We
you.
love you. We love you.
We love you guys.
And what music? Do you get to sit here and listen? Oh, yeah, see.
Yes. Ready?
Ready?
Now's
the end of the show. We really hate to let you go. We promised that we will return. We many more. Woo! Come back and see us next week.
So long, everyone.
Thank you.